Hi everyone, my name is Rhonda Robson and thank you so much for joining me on my fluid art channel. I am a fluid artist in the middle of the United States in Sioux City, Iowa, and I am excited about this one. It's totally different. It's out of my element. I just try to do some different stuff for my bedroom. So what I ended up doing was I did a flip cup, 2 flip cups, and then I ended up swiping half of it and then adding in some swipes in addition to it. I may add some more stuff to this. I'm not quite sure, like maybe like a Dutch pour area, but it might be done. So anyway, let me just show you what I've done so far. It's completely out of what I normally do. So as you can see back behind here, this is the area that I did the flip cup. And then what I wanted to do was I wanted initially just to swipe it this way, but I just didn't think it was enough. And so I ended up swiping this way, then I swiped it this way, and then I added some more swipes throughout, just to kind of give it some depth and some just different. I don't know how I will arrange this. It is for my bedroom, but we'll see. And I might add some more stuff to it, maybe some lines. But yeah. Anyway, today's video is about this one, and if I add anything different, I will make sure I put that on a different video. All right, well, thanks for joining me today, and I really appreciate you coming along this journey with me, and as I create and try new things, and hopefully I can inspire you to try new things. Well, let's get you down on this canvas, and thanks again. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing and clicking that notification bell. And if you like this video, click like. All right, bye for now. Bye. As you can see, I'm doing 2 different things here. I'm doing a flip cup, and then I'm doing the swipe, and then down the middle, I'm gonna try something there. But we'll see how that goes, because sometimes when you start something, it doesn't actually go that way. And I'll give you a little hint. It didn't go that way here. So I'm just getting ready here. I'm just gonna flip this cup and get started. I've already layered everything with all the colors of the greens and the golds and the gray and that type of stuff. So you can kind of see that there's silicone in this. So you can see the cells kind of popping up as the cup was flipped. And it was full, so I tell you, it was a lot in those cups. So but here I'm just kind of putting it on the corners. Just want to kind of give you an idea of what I'm doing with my flip cup, just making sure that all the paint is out. That's all I'm doing. And I know this is kind of fast forward speed type of thing, but I wanted to kind of give you just the idea of how I do this. All right, well, here you go. I'm just doing my corners, making sure that I don't have any white corners, and it's time to tilt now. So I really like these colors. It's kind of cool. It's for my bedroom. I have black and kind of off-white, and then this deep evergreen kind of color, and it's really not necessarily evergreen. This is kind of a bright green that's on this one, so we'll see how it goes. But just make sure that when you're stretching your paint that you go with the weight of the paint and making sure you get your corners and all your sides, just to make sure that there's no white left. Now you can always paint your sides beforehand by, like what I would have probably done with this one is I could have just taken that green or maybe Payne's gray and then just brushed the sides, and that kind of helps as well get prepared, especially for darker colors like this. But yeah, everybody's different in how they like to do it, and obviously today I didn't do it that way. So I really like how these colors are coming out, kind of like that. It reminds me of agates, and agates are kind of like geodes in a way that they have rings in them, and I really like this, although agate is more red and not green, but I do think that this is kind of cool. So I'm looking forward to swiping this to see how it kind of goes and which side I like better than the other. So hopefully it comes out really nice. So I've sped myself up a little bit more just so you can get through this section, but I still need to get paint on this one side, and I don't like all the wiggly jiggly kind of that you kind of see in there. I don't know, it just seems like the weight of the paint just didn't flow as smoothly as I was hoping that it would. So anyway, I'm just kind of fixing my sides right now, and then we're gonna head into swiping pretty quickly. If you see on either side, on the right side and on the left side, that there's just a little bit of a wave there, part of that is because I overstretched that section. So now what I'm doing is I'm trying to get some of that off. But if you can see it, it is overstretched. So now I'm sliding it down to kind of just making it worse. But anyway, I'm gonna fix that because I'm gonna be swiping it anyway. All right, I'm just gonna let the music take you for a while and let you watch me as I get to the point of actually swiping. Can you see how on the left-hand side it is stretched? So what I mean by overstretching your paint, it doesn't mean that the paint is too thin. It means the composition is overstretched and it's kind of making some streaky stuff. And in this particular one, I didn't want necessarily the streaks until I did the swipes. But, you know, again, I am going to swipe this, so it's not going to be that big of a deal at the end. But I keep moving it, as you see throughout this, because I'm not happy with the composition of it. But, you know, the great thing with art is you can change it. You can paint over it or you can do other stuff. So here I'm trying to decide where I want to swipe. You know, which sections do I like, which sections do I not like, and what should I do? So I am gonna take that Payne's Gray and I'm just gonna go down this one section right here and swipe from here. Okay, let's use my plastic sheet and just swipe. And I'm not trying to do anything like spectacular. And I did, if you noticed, I pulled the paint over the Payne's Gray. I didn't take the Payne's Gray only, and then pulled over. And this plastic sheet that I have, actually, I got from a painting, well, from a canvas, and I just cut it up and I just keep it. So I definitely needed to swipe that section because that was the section, if you remember, that was like overstretched. So anyway, it's really dark. So now I'm trying to decide if I want to keep the darkness or if I want to do something different. And you can kind of see that I'm trying to pull in a little bit more of the color and making that line straighter too as well. So now I'm bringing in smaller pieces of that plastic sheet and trying to bring in some of the color. And I'm not only am I pulling the color across the Payne's Gray, but I'm also transposing a little bit too as well. And what I mean by transposing is taking a color and swiping it and then swiping it again without necessarily taking the color off of the plastic. Now I felt like I needed a little bit more black because I got too much white there, so that's what I'm doing now, and then I'm going to pull that big sheet across again. And I really like the way it's looking. You can kind of see some of the cells popping up from the silicone, but I think it's a little too plain. So now I'm trying to decide what it is that I want to do. So now I'm going to come across with gold. Why not, right? I mean, why not? So now let's take this gold and I'm gonna swipe it in a totally different direction. Yeah, and I'm, again, using the gold, but pulling the color from above it. So I'm not pulling just from the gold down, but pulled kind of that Payne's gray in there, and it got some really cool lacing effect going on there. So I've got different movement here. I've got your flip cup, which has kind of the natural stone look, and then I have the big swipe going in the one direction, and now I'm just kind of taking this little tool and making smaller swipes. I don't know, now I'm just kind of having fun. What can I do? What can I do make it look different? Because I'm not really liking the whole composition side of things right now, and so yeah, so that's all I'm doing here. So now I'm gonna be quiet and just let you watch instead of commentating on exactly what I'm doing. So now I want to just try to have some fun because I'm really not liking the composition. So I'm just going to make some swipes utilizing a smaller piece of plastic and just try to make, I don't know, some type of composition design, movements in different directions, using the colors of the flip cup just to swipe across. So what this piece does for myself, what it teaches me, is that if you don't like something, just keep trying things. And just because it dries and you don't like it, you can continue to try things. And that's what I'm learning on this piece, and you'll get to see that in the next video as well, and I'll link it right here so that you can see that this is actually not how this turns out eventually, but it starts like this. And as an artist, we have sometimes one thing in mind and that goes perfect. But then there's other times, like this time, that it doesn't go the way I had planned it. It sort of goes the way I had planned it, but I didn't like it. And maybe it was the colors, maybe it was how the flip cup turned out, maybe it's how the swipes are turning out. I don't really know exactly. I can't put my finger on it, but all I know is that this is not what I really want. So I'm just playing right now, just trying to get it to have some fun, to learn different ways to swipe, what that looks like when I add like the gold or the Payne's gray to the situation. So I'm really learning some stuff right now. So I hope you are too, as well as you're watching this, and realizing that just because you started one way doesn't mean you finish in that same way. Today's video is a lot of fun things that I got to do utilizing a lot of different techniques. And the next video will show on top of this what I do in addition to this on this particular piece. I kind of like it. Thanks for watching, and if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so that way you can get notified when I have a new video up. Thank you for watching and have a great day.